I sold my last company for a life-changing amount of money. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm telling you because just a few years before that exit, my business was fundamentally worthless. It generated cash, sure, but if I had tried to sell it, no serious buyer would have even made an offer. The shocking truth is, the vast majority of small businesses you see around you, maybe even the one you're running right now, have zero sellable value. Not a little, not a lowball offer, but zero. And it's not because the owners are bad at sales or negotiation. It's because what they built isn't a business. It's a high-stress, high-income job that they can never leave. But what if I told you there's a blueprint to transform that job into a true, sellable asset? A system that operates without you, generates predictable cash flow, and becomes an asset that a buyer would be thrilled to acquire. If you follow the framework that I'm going to share with you today, there's no question in my mind that you can change the entire trajectory of your company and your personal wealth. This is the difference between building a prison for yourself and building true freedom. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we have to do is tear down a massive misconception. Most people think because they registered an LLC or a corporation, they are a business owner. But if you are the one performing most of the client work, making all the key decisions, and personally driving all the sales, you are not a business owner. You are self-employed. You haven't built an asset. You've just created a job with you as the star employee. A true business owner builds something that works for them, not because of them. The ultimate test is simple. If you took a 3-month vacation, completely unplugged, would your business grow, shrink, or completely collapse? If the answer isn't grow, then we have work to do. Your goal is to transition from the doer, the operator, to the role of a board member or a shareholder in your own company, someone who focuses on strategy and capital allocation, not on daily execution. So, how do we begin that journey? It starts with step 1. You must productize your services. A sellable business needs to be standardized. That means having a clear output, a defined delivery process, and a set pricing model. Many service businesses fall into the trap of high customization. While taking on custom projects can feel lucrative in the short term, it absolutely destroys the long-term value of your company. Why? Because it's not repeatable. A buyer isn't purchasing your personal genius. They are purchasing a system that generates cash. If every single sale requires a unique proposal, a custom workflow, and your personal touch, then the business has no value without you. This is also why buyers will demand a massive earnout, where a huge chunk of your payment is tied to your future performance after the sale. They are essentially saying, we're not buying your company, we're renting you for a few years. By productizing, you create a repeatable engine that anyone can operate. Step 2 is to build a predictable client acquisition system. It doesn't matter what channel you choose. Word of mouth, affiliate marketing, cold outreach, content, or paid ads. What matters is that it is a quantifiable system. You need to be able to prove, with data, that when you invest X amount of money or Y hours of effort into a specific channel, you reliably generate Z amount of sales. Think about that from a buyer's perspective. If you can show them a machine where they can put $1 in and get $3 out, they will fight to buy that machine from you. If your answer to how do you get clients is they just kind of find us, or I do a lot of networking, you are signaling to a buyer that the entire revenue stream is dependent on your personal efforts and luck. That's not a system, that's a gamble. A buyer will not pay for a gamble. You must build and document a process that proves your customer acquisition is sustainable and scalable long after you are gone. This brings us to the hardest, but most critical part of this entire journey, systematically firing yourself from every single role in the company. As a founder, you wear countless hats. You're the head of sales, the chief marketing officer, the product manager, the operations director, and the janitor. To build a sellable asset, you have to take each one of these hats, define the role, document the processes, and hand it off to a capable leader who can do the job better than you. You need to hire a VP of sales, a marketing director, a head of product, and let them own their key performance indicators. Your job is not to tell them what to do every day. Your job is to give them the resources and the vision, and then hold them accountable for the results. This is also where we need to talk about your personal brand. If your company's value is deeply tied to you as the face of the brand, a buyer will see that as a massive risk. You need to institutionalize the brand so that any qualified person can represent the company. This means creating brand guidelines, sales scripts, and operational playbooks that are not dependent on your personal charisma. If the business is you, you can't sell the business. You can only sell yourself into a long, restrictive contract. And to do all of this, you'll need to master the most important skills of all: recruiting, training, managing, and leading. Once you have a business model and a strategy, the rest of the game is about people. You have to become excellent at identifying, attracting, and retaining A-level talent. High-quality people will not work for a disorganized boss with no clear vision or a toxic culture. Your leadership ability will directly determine whether you can build a team that can run the business for you. This often means identifying the problems you don't know how to solve and hiring people who do. Instead of getting stuck on, "I don't know how to build a sales team," you reframe it as a concrete task. I need to write a job description for a VP of sales, define their KPIs, and start interviewing candidates. You must transform vague anxieties into actionable projects. Now, this transition requires a fundamental shift in how you view your company's finances. It's time to accept that sacrificing short-term profit for sellable value is not just acceptable, it's necessary. Every time you hire someone to take over a role you were doing, your seller's discretionary earnings, or SDE, will likely go down. You are essentially taking profit that was going into your pocket and reinvesting it into the business to pay for a management layer. This might feel like a step backward financially, but what you are buying is infinitely more valuable. You are buying and building true enterprise value. A business with a strong independent management team will sell for a much higher multiple than one completely dependent on the owner. You are trading personal income for asset appreciation. And to afford this top-tier talent, your business must have healthy gross margins. You can't hire a six-figure executive if your business model doesn't have the scale and profitability to support that salary. High margins are the fuel that allows you to attract talent better than yourself, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. To make this handover process seamless, you need to quantify and document every single task you currently perform. Make a list of everything you do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. For each task, write a standard operating procedure, or SOP. Define the measurable outputs and the steps to achieve them. Then, give that SOP to a new hire and let them run with it. By systemizing your own work, you create a playbook that makes it easy to delegate and quickly assess whether a new team member is performing effectively. Finally, you must understand that this is a long, iterative process. Don't expect to achieve this overnight. Building a real, sellable asset is a marathon, not a sprint. Replacing yourself, building systems, and hiring the right people can take years, not months. You will make hiring mistakes. You will have to fire people and start the process over. This repetitive, sometimes frustrating work is the very nature of building an asset instead of just running a job. You have to accept it and stay committed to the vision. When you've done this, you achieve the ultimate goal. You transition from a founder and operator to a true shareholder and investor. Your time shifts from daily operations to high-level strategy and capital allocation. You own an asset that produces passive income, an asset that can be sold, financed against, or used as a platform for your next venture. You've successfully moved from earning money by doing the work to earning money with your asset. This also gives you the ultimate leverage when it comes time to sell. The best time to sell a business is when you don't need to. When you've built a company that you would be happy to own for another decade, one that's growing, profitable, and runs without you, that is when you have maximum leverage in a negotiation. If you're desperate to get out, buyers will sense it, and you'll be forced to accept unfavorable terms. So look, the final step in this blueprint comes down to you. It's a fundamental shift in mindset from viewing your business as just a source of cash flow to seeing it as an asset on your personal balance sheet. Your mission is to increase the value and liquidity of that asset by building stable cash flows, a repeatable customer acquisition engine, a replaceable management team, and clear operating systems. That is the path to true wealth and freedom. Thanks so much for watching. If this blueprint resonated with you, please hit that like button to let me know you got value from it. And make sure to subscribe for more videos to help you build a real business, not just a better job.